next shift.
Okay, hello Huzzington. It is Chino. Yeah, I'm just here to comment on your VOD. So, uh, now you playing defense here, trying to just figure out some more things about your positioning and all that jazz. So, anyways, first comment here. I know that you are taking a conscious effort to go ahead and play this guy on the pass, but you just got to notice that little earlier when it comes into the slot that this guy ends up wanting to swing this behind you. You're gonna have to get your crouch turn and whatnot. It's very easy for this guy to come get the puck, and super good players are going to find this pass. So just make sure that you're even. You don't have to necessarily be on the passing lane, but you could be closer to him at least. Just making sure that you're really zoning this guy off. Because right now you're a little bit far away. If the pass comes behind you to some angle like this, you're not going to be able to turn for it by the time that he gets there. And then this guy has multiple options, and you're going to be flat-footed. So it kind of puts you at a little bit of a disadvantage because your teammate gets beat here. So now this guy can come branch off of you, and you're going to have to turn onto it while he's also coming in, and you're going to be pushed to make a decision. Fortunately, he loses the puck. I assume your dead guy was able to stick him off of it or something. But just make sure that you don't get too I like to call this greed because I don't really know how else to describe it. Because a lot of people on offense will do this, but especially if you're on defense, just route back into the play, right? Like if you're on 22, just stay on him until you need to go ahead and find your next threat, right? Because if you're on 22, look where you would have been. You would have been able to somehow mess him up on this shot, seeing that he's the one who gets the puck back around this point and is able to find something. I'm going to swap the color up a little bit here because I want it to be a little... No, it's a little too dark. May not be using a blue. Also for the future too, I know you did go ahead and just record this file, which is completely fine. But using these replay files, there's one thing that is a little bit of a scuffed situation is you can't actually tell whether you are using your puck cam or not. So I can't see if you're using the map or if you're literally just looking at the puck at this point. So I'm going to assume based off of your actions what you do, but if you are properly using things as you should, then excuse me, but that might be something that I just don't pick up on. Okay, so I like this plan, right? Like I know you're defense, but you see that your heads up, your guy has the puck, like you're going ahead, you're breaking the structure of you're breaking their structure, just both offense and defense. Yeah, and then you turn back in onto 97. That's good. Slow down a little bit into this, right? Like you've got this player always is going to have a lot of options whenever you come at them like this. You've got to kind of slow up and really this is where you need to use a lot of your context, right? Like leading into this play, you see where your teammate is, right? You see him come past you this direction. So what you want to do is you want to be funneling him out into that guy, right? So if you guys can squeeze him into this area where he's coming and he's coming, and, well, it's you, then he has to come really wide or directly through the center where both of your sticks are. And potentially lose the puck. So this guy is it's V, right? He's going to come look for an option. But instead, you kind of commit extra into this direction instead of pushing him. They're forcing him into that way where your teammate is right here. So then we inch past, and then now you are beat. And then now your other teammates go ahead and double cover because, V, good player coming into the zone, Fortunately, these guys have found a way to not be open. Uh, oh, and then yeah, these guys do the same thing, right? They don't pinch him. They don't do a good conscious effort of trying to force him into a position where he's going to lose the puck, which results in him being able to break off the line, continue with the puck, keep moving through the zone, and get a shot, right? Like, you don't want him to be able to work through all four guys and get a shot by just making two simple moves where he's waiting for you guys to make a bad decision and commit incorrectly. Okay, I like the patience here, right? What? They have 5 people on the ice? That can't be right. Oh, I see. Okay, number 7 is bugged on the net. Okay, good to know. I'm sorry. That was really mind breaking. Let me back up a little bit so I can look at this. Okay, so you come onto the boards. Nice. Like, you're kind of on offense here. They've set up. So that's goalie back there. I should have just looked at this. What is this? I don't even know what's going on. But never mind. I'll just ignore it. Um, I mean, 1,000,000%, I would just control it, right? Like, the reason why you don't want to just get rid of it instantly is because look at their defense. This is your first defender, or sorry, these are their forwards. They are coming to set up a push, because they want to forecheck the puck, and then their defense is all the way down here, right? So you send the puck down. The rest of your team is here. Well, hold on. Let me draw lines. He's going this way. This guy's going this way, right? You send the puck down. Who is it going to? This guy. In reality, sure, not a bad play, but we're talking best case scenario, right? If you want to be the most effective defender of all time, you're going to be getting in every single passing lane, cutting off all east-west, like, transactions between their forwards, forward players, and you're letting the goalie get the best opportunity to save a shot, right? And with that comes trying to get the most effective breakouts and creating more opportunities for your forwards to get open and allowing them to have more ice to skate into, have more passing lanes that are free. And that does not mean dumping the puck up instantly, right? That means taking your time, taking the puck around the net even, or, coming left and turning. Probably not turn. I would go around the net because you're going to have the most time doing that. Because when you come around the net, right, this guy's going to have come all the way down. This guy's going to have developed. This guy will have developed. This guy's going to turn off and develop. That's going to force them further down the ice. That's going to allow these guys to move up the ice a little bit more and not have these defenders lurking back here, right? Doing this one-off pass is going to get this guy stuck into this coverage, and we don't want one guy being squeezed by 3. So let's see what happens. Picks it up. Gets squeezed, right? I mean, he doesn't even have the puck, but exactly as I drew up occurred. And then now your defense is walled off by a triangle. It literally looks like they're doing like a upside down penalty kill defense, but okay. So this is kind of where you have to take a little note of your surroundings, right? I know you probably are looking at the puck. Just based on the fact that you're not really noticing that your teammate was over here to begin with. But you should really kind of like slow up and kind of take a more defensive stance on this, because if this guy needs to get back to 22, it's going to be hard, right? So you should have already been slowed up onto him, kind of closer, remaining in this open ice. Well, not necessarily open ice, but you need to spread the rink. But you've really pushed yourself over onto where your teammate is. Meaning that when he's supposed to get the puck here, you're actually in his way. Not really in his way, but like this is his puck to get. And the reason why this would be really beneficial if you were over here is because this guy could go ahead and cycle out, do a circle, and you would be pushing into open ice where these guys are, this guy's trying to play the puck, but these guys are moving into his zone or his space really, but you can call it zone. And so now your passing options are drop 3 centimeters back and handcuff this guy, or send it backwards and make this guy skate into it, possibly missing it, losing any sort of tempo that you guys have. So you drop it onto him. Wow. Absolutely great move by, I assume, Thugovich, because that is who gets first star here. Fantastic move by him. He actually gets the puck off the wall, even though you had a extremely small drop. He was still contested by the same guy. Worked out perfectly. Gets a shot off. Nice. I mean, there's not really many options. Like, he can make this pass, but this guy's 0 miles an hour, or he's really slow. Yeah, literally not even moving almost. So, good shot. You can go for the rebound. And, good opportunity. Nice. So I personally would honestly cycle out. Keep this angle that you have on 22, right? Because you can catch up to him. I don't know your stamina, because I can't see your stamina bar. Another small issue I have with the replay mod, but, Nice. Okay, so you do route onto him, and your teammate should have noticed this and already left, because you have a much better angle on this guy. What happens here with Thugovich? I don't know. I assume maybe it was in the air. Yeah, so you meet him basically on the passing lane. Be a little more wary here, right? Like, if you slow up even more in this situation, right? Like, you kind of go head first into a lot of these positions where you should slow down a little bit more. But when you push into this play super quick like this guy has all the time in the world to, go ahead and meander off away from this lane. And in the chance that he actually squeaks through because something happens, like you go behind him, you turn wrong, whatnot, this is a bad situation for you. So you kind of want to just, ease into this challenge, because this guy can only go this way, which you've already got the angle on him. Right? If he goes that way, he's cooked. And if he wants to go back, and you're, going head first into these boards here, because that's where the puck's going, then you're going to be fried. So he ends up breaking off you, and now look at this really dangerous cross crease where your goalie is already trying to cover this really scary option. So he's backed up off of his line, right? Because normally goalies are here, but he's backed up, gone over to this point. And this is St. Wall, so obviously knows what he's doing. Gotten his pad onto the post, and he's going to have to come out, and if he can't even come out, well, he's getting ginted by his own player, but let's not talk about that. If he can't even get out in time, meaning like standing up and jumping to get to the edge of his crease, then he's also going to have to readjust because Blake is coming across the crease, right? This is a absolutely terrible position to be in as a goalie. And you don't want to allow players to come across the, it's not really across the crease, but you know what I'm saying. You don't want them to come across the slot. Really dangerous opportunity. This is the one rare situation where there's like a lot of like east to west gameplay by one guy without, having to find a passing option or whatnot. This is even a scary option too, because it's like if he crumbs across the slot and wants to rip it top left corner, top, even anywhere on this side, bad situation. He's also got to worry about this, bad situation. This east to west gameplay here, this is like 50% of the time a goal in D1, which is crazy considering like save percentages are up in the 85s and whatnot for the better goalies. I believe St. Wall sticks it. It looks like it's going to miss anyways, but I mean, regardless, your goalie sticks the save. He sticks the save. Beautiful play, no matter what occurred. Okay, I like this, right? You are offering drop option. This is super good play because puck comes out to you. You have your dead guy. He's ready to come pick up the puck. Wrong arrow. He's able to come pick up the puck, and he has, he can move the puck wherever, really. He has time to look. These guys are all facing the wrong direction. His closest option is this guy coming back to you. And, you know, oh my gosh. A pass across like this allows for a really good decision, which is cross, back across again. Why does this work? These guys are gonna try and forecheck instantly. He's gonna send it back to you. These guys are gonna be lost, and the whole, you know, your defense is gonna be probably separated from these guys. So there's a lot of options on defense. Dugovic tries to do it all himself. I mean, he kind of just loses the puck. Like, it's not really your fault. I mean, it's like, it's a bad situation. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Number 7 isn't ginting your goalie. I just realized. I'm sorry. That is so confusing. I don't know what mod that is, but I really recommend turning that off. Okay. The reason why this place sucks is because, right, you know your teammates here. Fine. Continue skating at the net, right? You don't want to show that you are passing it at this situation, right? Right here, goalie knows pass is coming. You are angling yourself towards here, and you're removing, like, what's your angle here, right? Let's draw a line from the top to bottom, and then all the way through the middle, right? Your 45-degree angle, which is like your most like peak situation where you're gonna shoot, like if you want the most accurate shot, I'm gonna get rid of this, is really this angle right here, right? Like your 45-degree angle is going to be your most effective kind of range of anything in this game, right? Like you want to pass, you kind of set up a 45-degree angle in your brain. When you come out like this, good goalies, you know, goalies in D2 where you're going to be, you know, trying to, you know, as nice as you can say it, displace your teammates on the starting lineup. You're going to be wanting to obviously be running full effectiveness, be able to fake these goalies out and have them wondering what's going on. And these goalies that have been, you know, they've seen enough, they've played enough of this game to understand that he does not have to worry about anything because you've got such a egregious angle on this net at this point. Right? Like you set yourself up better, but the fact is that you've already, you know, you've kind of ruined stuff. You've ruined your chances to begin with because instead of being in a really attacking position, you've removed yourself from that, you know, super offensive kind of like facade, I guess. Now you've already like kind of submitted to trying to rip like a Baggins angle or whatnot into this shot or into the net. And goalie ends up just like instead of like look how much is open. Look what the goalie does. Literally just drops. Doesn't even dash. Goalie just drops and actually already read the pass. So to combat this, whoa, I'm back at the beginning. Oh Lord. I gotta remember where we are. I hope we are further than this, right? Yeah, we've 1,000,000% got to be further than this. I'm begging. Where are we, man? Oh no, we were definitely back. Surely I've not taken this long. Okay, I don't know what is going on here, though. Okay, I remember that happening. When you get the puck. See here? Yep, okay. Right, nice. So, like I said, you get a really good pass from your teammate. Just keep coming straight. Like come straight at the goalie. You know, whenever I do a backdoor pass, I kind of put the goalie into a rhythm, right? Whenever you want to be untrackable or what's the correct word for it? Oh boy, like I'm really getting a brain fart here. Just whenever you don't want the goalie to like know what you're doing, right? You want to be unpredictable. There we go. If you want to be unpredictable, you don't put the goalie in a rhythm. You don't want the goalie to be knowing what you're doing. But the best way to get a backdoor pass is putting that goalie in the rhythm, doing that left, right, and then left. And then instead of pulling it to the right, you're gonna pull your stick over and pass left, because goalie's gonna be going this way, and you're gonna be passing this way, because goalie thinks, oh, shot's coming. I read his rhythm. Nope. Right? You're gonna put the goalie into a rhythm and then break his brain. But you don't suggest anything here. I'm sorry, I'm overanalyzing stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and keep everything back to just defense. So I don't have this going on forever. But I obviously have a lot to say all the time. Okay, nice challenge. It's a little scary here because V actually makes a bad decision. I assume I hope you're looking at the puck in this situation. But you realistically, he's supposed to be going this way, and I'm not sure what causes him to go this way because it's just his teammate over here. But I think he's maybe trying to find a pass and then realizes here, I don't have this sweeping option to my defender. So, sorry, not defender, his other forward. This is a bit dangerous, right? This situation's hard to be in because technically you don't want to be in this angle, and this guy should already be angling him off to a different direction. So you kind of have to take this with your approach, like where like you got to look at your guy, right? 22 breaks off of you. If you're closer to him, then you're closer to your other guy, and then you'll be routing down with him, right? And if you're moving with him, then you're already going to be with speed, where you can have a little bit more optimization in what you're like, how you're going to approach the situation, right? Because as this guy comes in, you see him getting pinched by this guy. Realistically, best case scenario is you're cutting off a lane right here, and you're also pressing him into this guy, because if he wants to come left off of this instant push, he gets cooked, right? This guy's going to get his stick, push him into the corner. But, as the play develops, he creates more room on 13. 13's not laying into him as hard, and he ends up coming around you. But you get a really good stick on him, so it all works out. But, it's definitely dangerous because a move this way beats you. But this is kind of just a little bit of a positioning error from a little bit from you, but more so your defense, your other defenseman. Great play. Right, like you this is just a little thing like that you can notice, right? If you're watching the left right from the map, just look at the map. Literally left, right. See? Goalie knows. I'm gonna dash to my left because he's going right. That's what I'm saying. So you can really put the goalie in kind of like a spin cycle. Okay, this is really bad, right? This is not what you should do on defense, because this first off does not help break. You basically want to make the breakout as hard as possible. That leaves them with the highest chance to give your team the puck on a bad turnover and or have no passing options, so they're going to burn their stamina, and then somebody on your team is going to end up cutting them off or some sort of way, right? But since you're so far out of position and you've bailed on this already, you are currently covering nobody and just allowing them to get down the ice, right? So you want to already, your dead guy should be on this guy, right? And you need to turn up the boards and start to get ready to angle off this guy, because now at this point you're so far off that that realistically you guys should swap players, because you're already in a pretty good position to go ahead and assist this. So you don't want to go ahead and break structure and come off on 79, because let's see what happens here. Okay, puck gets away from 0, right? But the chance that 0 gets it, you'll be there ready, already at the point, whereas 79 is here, and you could still be on him, being ready. Where your dead guy should, you guys can, if they are below their circles and you don't want to overcommit, you can double cover someone. It's fine. But now you've completely left your position where you should have been. And they're going to have a play that they can make now. Terrible pass. They beat you off of it. Let's get rid of this. Okay, nice. So you guys win it out. That's good. Okay, so this is hard, right? Like, realistically, you're going to the boards. You're doing good. 0 needs to lay this back around to your dead guy. Your dead guy can reevaluate the situation. If he wants to go ahead and continue, sending it around to you, he can. But since Dugovic makes the wrong decision, gives them a turnover, lets them turn around with the puck. Yep, so now you guys are on the defense again. Okay, you have a really bad problem of kind of just putting yourself into open space, right? Like, sure, you're taking it up, but there's nobody here to cover, right? There's no threat in this open space. So you might as well just come cover a guy, because it's not, you're not deterring him from, you're not trying to deter him from this space. You're trying to deter him from making a pass and causing them to be able to, set up their own structure. Because obviously a structure over time is going to cause you guys to have no stamina. You guys are going to be out of position. At some point, you guys are going to falter. Because passing the puck is a lot easier than trying to keep the puck on your, trying to handle the puck around and win off of it. So yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. What happens here? Okay. Passes. Just, he holds on to it for too long, gets the puck taken. Cool. Okay, so this is, I don't understand this, right? Yo dead guy is so far out of the play now. Instead of just turning and keeping your kind of, rectangle structure, you do a good job. You just turn instantly, you turn up onto Guap. But now, yo dead guy, instead of being on his side of the rink, over on the red line like you are, is, look, now, so... See, and this is my problem, right? Now that he's so far off, you're kind of trying to be a mediator in the middle, because he's going to end up torpedoing someone if this pass gets made, right? And the chance that 97 does a good job and retains the puck, he's probably going to beat your dead guy. And you're going to have to branch off of these guys instead of adding pressure to this and removing them as a passing option. One of these guys is probably going to break low, V, I assume, and then Guap's going to go, and then you're going to be stuck, right? You're not going to be able to pressure these guys because this guy's on them, this guy's playing this guy, and your dead guy's just not on this guy, right? Makes it hard, right? V breaks low, Guap goes high, probably trying to drop to V, gets to V, great stick. Once again, right, you guys are not set up for anything. Thugovic needs to go in. He needs to get on number 5. And, you can, this yo dead guy being here is fine. He should really kind of be above this guy even, because this pass in any world is never getting to this guy without getting to yo dead guy first. But like I said, since Dugovic, this all determine the development of this play is the problem, right? It's hard to just break down everything and do it all perfectly, in a time frame like this. But realistically, you kind of need to come up, because him determining whether or not he can push depends on whether or not you decide to go. And you kind of want to turn back here, and he can come up and play. And with comms, obviously, it's easier to do this. And you're defenseman, he's offense. Some players are better at forechecking, some are worse. Obviously, you want your better forechecker to be going up and trying to play the correct positions. So you guys swapping here is fine. right? But you end up not, going up and being on 5. So now the positioning is weird. So, there's always context to every situation that occurs in this game. And, instead of capitalizing on this weird structure that we see from you guys, and Blake just giving it out to V, this would cause Thugovich to come over. Yo Dead Guy would probably turn on to Guap, and 12 would come in. Or is that 12? This would drive a lot of attention onto V, where this guy's breaking out, right? This guy comes across, this pass gets laid, this guy can't intercept it, and you've got a play coming down the rink in a bad situation where you've got a almost 2-on-1 basically a 2-on-1 situation where he's going to turn in and you guys are going to be scrambling for, trying to get your positioning back. So don't be scared to go leech into the offensive zone whenever you see your defenseman or whenever you see your other teammate kind of like on the fence, right? Like if they're giving you the option, take it. Because they're also unsure. So just don't hesitate, because it's much better to have one person who's not as effective as the other guy go up than none of y'all. How do they lose the puck here? Okay, that's what I'm saying. I don't get this. Blake is constantly losing the puck in his own zone. He's got to stop doing that. Okay, right, so notice, this is what I'm saying. Yo Dead Guy is nowhere near the play, and instead of being on anyone, he's so far. Goodness gracious, I can't speak. Instead of Yo Dead Guy being on 22 here, like he probably should, and you don't recognize 97 leaving the zone because he's there's a blue person next to him, and then there's no longer a blue person next to him, right? He gets a pass, and now he's got an east. Not really an east and west, but he is coming. He's coming wide into the center, which is also another scary opportunity. Great save by Walls. Beautiful. I mean, the pass had to go to you 3 to 5 business days ago, so. Damn, I really spent way too long on this first period. Don't worry, I will not. This will not be going for this long. Yeah, you're just routing on offense. There's not much I can say right now. You're covering guys. You're man marking. Beautiful, right? The reason why this works so well and why they have nothing here is because 5, right? 5 is literally flat-footed on his own wall and gets the puck given to him, right? Guap, being a progressive player, doesn't want the puck to go back to 5, where it's really not a bad play, because 0 will have to turn around. 5 can branch off the wall and make he can do stuff with the puck. But you see how even having a player who is completely useless right now, who is that? 13? 19? 13? Just because of that, and that you guys are man marking, they have no passing options up the ice, which results in a turnover. Unfortunately, just let the puck come past you, right? Don't try and magically control it behind you. Just let it come forwards and take it around, right? Trying to control the puck backwards like this is like a death sentence every time, because you're going to have to stick handle through V. Don't want to be doing that. Any player even. Yeah, he just makes quick work of your team, and it only even ends up working out for you guys because Yo Dead Guy hits 13 and then slows both of them down. Without that, V definitely would have gotten his own attempt on that, but right, like I said, you gotta kind of slow up into situations like this, because 13 doesn't make his torpedo attempt, right? He's trying to cut him off, and then recognizes, okay, he's not coming in. So then 14 comes and circles around. That's you, right? You come circle around. You've really got to post up here and let dead guy get through on this. But I think dead guy actually ends up. Yeah, so dead guy doesn't recognize. Hey, he's cutting back across. So I'm not. I won't say anything about this for you because you are literally cutting off this whole lane from him. Yo, dead guy just not covering the guy properly. Good take. It's a little bit of a greedy option, right? Because you're trying to keep yourself away from the boards, so you can chip it over him. This is a little bit scary, right? Because you have a lot to lose here. Like if you don't get the puck, your structure is cooked. They've got a really good pass out to the point. So, just make sure that you are like you 50 it even. Great 50. This is another thing where you can take your time, right? Like instead of just getting rid of the puck, Zero is not I don't know what happens to him. I can't even believe the puck. So this, okay. I know this looks good, but realistically 79 is just picking it up, right? I don't know why V's missing the puck. Best case scenario, you take your time, wait a little bit, and then you push it out to dead guy, right? He'll pick it up over here. You're going to have two guys coming down the rink, one guy uncontested. Someone's going to branch off. Someone's getting a pass. Maybe another pass, shot on net, something, right? But instead you go for a Hail Mary, which falls through. Okay. I love how it doesn't show intermission. Oh, that's right. It's a replay. What is going on here? Why is there... Oh, okay. I see it. The beard shows up. Yep. I hate that bug. What is this? Do you ever? I wonder if you fix this or not. Do you notice it and fix it? I wonder. You it's like when you have a scooter and your front wheel gets kind of off like the axis it should be on, or it gets off it gets rotated, I guess, and your handlebars don't match the direction of the wheel. It's kind of what's going on here. It's like you're on a skateboard almost. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip to the points where there's goals, because like I said, this is an extremely long replay. I've got to make sure it's not too long. Okay. There's so many problems going on here. This is good picking up in the corner. Why not slow it down, right? Like, if you slow it down, these guys are going to make a bad... right? You slow it down, what happens to these guys? These guys are already post up, right? But if you're slowing down and you're taking your time and you're not blowing into this, that gives you time to move out, right? When you move out like this, your teammates go in and you get a more dangerous kind of opportunity. Right, the only way that this is going to work for you is if you get this on your push with your backhand and instantly get a slap shot rippery, right? But it's a stupid hard shot to set up with 0.1 or 0.2 seconds. Goes directly onto that guy's stick. Fortunately, you get an absolutely crazy opportunity here. So this is where you take it to the... Ooh, not that way. Sorry. You take it to the corner, right? Grab it. Move through. You've got someone posting up at your point. You've got somebody coming in. You got somebody coming for your round option. But this is a forward play. I won't talk about it too much. Ends up going to your corner anyways. You get to play it out to point. Comes to an open guy. I mean, the point obviously was not the play here, but seeing as V read where it should have gone, but he was not going to get there in time. Puck gets over there anyways, regardless, but V is much closer to him than he would have been originally. So V actually gets the jump on him just because he doesn't have that extra bit of time. So if you skip steps and just go instantly to where it should be, right, when you have a free open pass like that, just go ahead and do that. But like I said, forward play, you're asking for defense. But I do like to give defensemen some assistance sometimes. All right, what team is it that scores? Is it your team or the other team? I believe it should be your team, but okay, you were very open. I mean, you've got to get a pass there. Nice, great cut. Does that go in the net? That does go in the net. Okay, cool. What a shot. Great cut. Finds the middle option. Gets to goalie. Kind of guessing whether it's going left or right. Good shot. Nice. So you fix this. I think at the same... Do you... Okay, surely you notice this and fix it, right? Oh, yes. Bless. You've got this. Once you select player, it'll fix. No. Come on. There we go. I think this is about normal. Okay, nice, good routing. See, instantly covered him. He's got to make a he's got to intercept the pass extremely difficult, or in an extremely difficult situation. He can't get it because you've marked him. He doesn't have time to pick it up, so that's good. Nice. So you gap up on number 5 here. Now 5 has to pull off. You end up breaking his route that he wants to take, and he can't take it. It's really good defense from you, breaking up their structure. This is a little scary, right? You're not covering anybody. You've got somebody entering the zone. Nice. Your teammate single-handedly broke up a 3-on-1 from the back check. So it's beautiful by him. Good try trying to play it. I mean, obviously you don't want to bat it out of the air. Okay. Take your time, right? No reason to make things like harder than they have to be, right? Literally grab the puck. Like you see it like this. Just stick your stick right here, right? Just put it against the boards and let it hit your stick and pop out. If you put it against the boards, they'll, at some point it's going to end up, coming off the wall. And then, just bring it to your forehand, and you've got a high chip. You've got on the boards. If this guy, puts his stick in the air at any point, you've got even like a straight bounce option out, like off the boards. You got a lot of options from here, and taking your time will allow this guy to further put himself into an even worse position, right? You let him come in all the way to this point, and it's like, okay, he's got a stick all the way off the wall now. You can just bang it around. You can, like I said, send it high. You can send it through. A lot of different options. Realistically, around's the best option. But as we use the puck here, stick's not on the ice. Okay. This is extremely dangerous. Who are you passing to? Good thing Kip doesn't trust 2 of his teammates to get the puck in this situation. Okay, What is going on? Why is it doing this? So if I press D, it's taking me back? What's going on here? This janky old thing. I was intending to skip to the next goal anyways. Okay. So here it is. So they score on... Okay, right. What's the point of pulling yourself all the way over here, right? There's no point of doing that. So whenever you see this happen, slow down, right? Like if you're on 5 and you're trying to stay gapped up, you can still get to him, but just keep him out of the zone, right? At this point, you are covering more than one guy. You cannot man cover him, right? You have to zone cover. Meaning that if you just slow down and don't commit to this turn onto 5, and you, like I said, just keep yourself kind of in the vicinity, you can always turn back in time. But instead, you pull yourself extremely far away from the play, and Guap's going to stay over here so that Blake can stay over here. And what you've got to do is torpedo. Or not torpedo, but, you've got to commit to something that you really is not ideal. And regardless, no matter what happens here, this is still a... Let's see, is there... No, a stick's not in view, but obviously, this is a very, very dangerous option, and you are not on it, nor are you on this guy, right? Because you were put into a terrible situation because you are not slowing down and taking your time and evaluating the play and knowing where you can push to and where you need to stop at. And then bang, they just slotted in top right. Boy, your stick sure just sits idle for a long time. Okay, goal. What even happened here? Maybe bounces over the goalie. Yeah, that's the only thing I can imagine that happens. I mean, not really much to comment on there. And then the replay ends. I mean, I hope that... I mean, I'm at 47 minutes, right? So that's kind of... I generally try and be below 45 minutes. Or at least I just don't want to make it like a full hour. Like, that's a decent time commitment, especially not play and just sit here and listen to me yap. But I try and, like, teach you as much as I can. In a certain amount of time, but obviously, there's some points in here where it's like, I don't know, you're just playing against a difficult team, right? And the fact that your teammate is not playing not perfectly, but just the fact that your teammate is not playing at a, I guess, like D2 starter kind of style of defense, even it makes it harder to comment on your positioning and how you play because your baseline is not like fully set. You're working against not only the other team but also your teammate positioning incorrectly. That's right. I remember seeing this play. I'll back up a little bit. Just because I want to see if there's one more case like situation. Okay, so if you're trying to figure out what to do here, right? Like this is another thing. So what you've done in this, basically in this situation, is read the flow of the play, right? Like you've got time. These guys aren't on you, so now you look at the map and really recognize what you've got, right? You've got up same. You've got high across contested, a chip, and then you've got back here to your dead guy, right? One thing you can do is force this guy to catch the puck on his backhand, right? If he or not his backhand, it's technically his forehand, right? But he's got to get it from his forehand, come over, and then use his backhand to pull it off the wall. Chances of that happening where he's actually getting the puck and not getting contested within half a second and losing it, extremely low, right? What's the best case scenario here? Well, watch the defense, or watch your opponents. They're going this way. They're going this way. They're going this way. They're going this way. They're completely slicing themselves off from this very free option, right? So we continue watching. Push some frames into the future. Now what do? Oh, let me go take the open space. No. You don't take the open space. Why? Because you are not the little owl. You are Huzzington, where what you do is you bait this pass force long enough to pull the defender, to pull every other player into such a bad position that you've got. I'm not really sure what this guy's doing, right? This is a no-brainer that he's supposed to be on this guy. So, D1, you're going to end up finding this option. But right here, perfect. Literally just send it on the ground this way. Because this guy's going to get to it before he will. But like I said, D1, high, D2 comp games, this guy's going to be here. He's going to be on this guy already. So you're going to have this as an option. And he won't be on top of him, he'll be, more here. But I don't want to overanalyze the situation, you know what I'm saying? You pass the puck here, your dead guy has so much time to once again pull. He can skate, he can create some distance, pull these guys, do whatever. The more time that these guys spend skating around, the more room that there is for error, right? But what do? Instead of making the instant pass, the instant free open pass to this guy, or finding your dead guy, you skate into his open space. You skate to your teammate, take his space that he has, right? Instead of just passing to it and letting, you can pass it 70 kilometers an hour this way, or you can skate it over there at like an average of 24. It's 3 times faster to go this way. By passing it, right? It doesn't even have to be a perfect pass. It can hit the boards here. You could diamond onto his stick. You could tap it out for him. Anything, right? It's going to be faster than you just skating it. And you lead all the players off of 13, who was once pulling every player, to only leaving it for V, who V is going to go play the puck, right? It's like you're just tossing Hail Marys for no reason. And even in this situation, the correct play is slow up to your dead guy. And the reason why this works is because Kip is going to come off and Guap is going to come to your dead guy, and he just pushes, right? What does that leave? It leaves all these guys scrambling up the rink. Well, he'll have routed through with V covering 2 guys, right? I'm just trying to jog your brain, get it thinking about defensive breakouts, because that's what's going to set you apart and make you a very useful defender. Whenever you're on the ice, you're going to be cutting off the east-west options. You're going to be noticeably getting assists. You're going to be changing the flow. Your teammates are going to notice when Huzzington's not on the ice, we aren't scoring as much. Or we're having a hard time getting the puck out of the zone, and they're going to start putting you in. You're going to start getting used more. It's very important that you are finding these opportunities, because that's what sets you apart from everybody else, and also allows, obviously, you to win. You want to win. Winning's fun, no matter what you're doing. Unless you're beating your father or something in a contest, maybe you'll feel a little sad winning. But yeah, I don't know. That was some major yap. But if you have any more questions about anything defensive, like if you think I didn't cover, like if you want to know a little bit more about certain things, just let me know. Obviously, I can't see your stamina, so that's already out of the picture, and then I can't see whether or not you're utilizing your map. So, just some extra little utilities that would be nice to take a baseline off of. But it appears to me that you kind of have stamina most of the time, but you are constantly moving a little bit too fast into everything, so you also may not. But I feel like a lot of the time you've been able to accelerate to the positions that you need to. But yeah, really just I say your biggest thing currently is just slow down and take a look at what's going on. because I think that will open up a lot of things for you. You've got to find these very effective. You got to use your other defender, right? Don't keep forcing the puck up. Trying to make the game move fast and fast and fast. Slow it down. Really control it. Be dominant on the ice. Anyways, I hope that you learned a lot. Like I said, just ask any questions if you feel like there's something that's a little incomplete. Obviously, I'm not perfect and I'm not any sort of actual coach. But yep. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that this wasn't too boring to watch. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.